Welcome to
Like, give me that
today's
little.
episode of Daddy's Gertie Library, One Piece live action. Episode 8, finally here. The finale. The worst the worst in the East.
There once was a man named
Big
Gold
Daddy!
Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame,
Production.
power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
My fortune is yours for the taking, but you'll have to find it first. I left everything I own in one piece.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for One Piece, the treasure that would make their dreams come true.
Buddy,
Yo!
ready?
Yo!
Don't give it up, Luffy. Don't give it up, Zoro. Don't give it up, Nami. Don't give it.
Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
Here's how the story goes. We find out by the treasure in the Grand Line. There's no doubt. The pirate whose eyes on it, he'll sing. I'll be king of the pirates. I'm gonna be king.
Yayo, yayo, yayo.
What's his name? His name is Luffy. That's Monkey D. Gonna be king of the pirates. He's made of rubber.
How did that happen?
Yo, he took a bite of gum. Yep. His name's Zoro, he's just like a samurai and a L-A-D-Y. Nami's not shy. Usopp's doing that marksman thing. Sanji's cooking. Chopper's doctoring.
Yayo, yayo, yayo.
Come on.
Yayo, yayo, yayo.
fellas,
Yayo,
all the ladies in the place, let me hear you.
Yayo, yayo, yayo.
Ladies.
Yayo, yayo, yayo. 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 Yayo, yayo, yayo.
Yeah.
Yayo, yayo, yayo. Yayo, yayo, yayo. Yayo, yayo, yayo.
ワンピースフォーエバー
Yayo, yayo, yayo.
Straw hats, they all that. The 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 straw hats, they all that. One Piece.
When I look at this episode, again, best live action, second best live action I've seen, best live action series, I think.
You said second best? What do you have as your first?
Rurouni Kenshin.
That's a series.
Yeah,
Oh,
series.
no, I thought you said live action.
Yeah, live action. This is the best.
Oh, best.
Besides
Okay, yeah.
Rurouni Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin, I think, tops this one, but I think
But I don't think, I
It's
think
unfair
they
to
stopped
compare.
making Rurouni Kenshin. This just started. This is like the beginning, and they're
Right,
gonna
and-
do this for years.
Rurouni Kenshin was movies as opposed to series, so it's just a different format. And so it's unfair to compare it if you haven't watched it. I'll be happy to dive into that one too.
It is kind of unfair bias. That's like saying, the animated Batman series isn't as good as the Batman movies. Come
But
on,
man,
dude.
Yeah,
Come
that was
on.
the beginning of this episode was action packed all the way through.
Yeah, like with this episode is this is the thing. It's missing a lot. There's a lot missing in this episode. I'm just like,
Yeah.
It was action packed. I'm not taking away from that, but it was missing a lot.
There were several things that kicked me in a way, I would say. I think I may have spilled some of the beans last time of
Yeah, 'cause
certain things that
because-
didn't happen.
Arlong not fighting Zoro.
Yeah, so that's one of the bigger things.
Yeah.
Because Arlong seeing the scar on Zoro's chest, ripping off the bandages and everything, he's like, what monster could have done this? Like, this, you shouldn't even be walking or breathing.
He said, "What is this?" Like he was just like, "The fuck is going?" Like he was legitimately scared, and the whole time he's been on rage mode. Like he's been biting guns out of people's hands and wild shit. Like he's been doing wild shit. And then all of a sudden he comes face to face with Zoro, who wipes out his crew single handedly. And then he goes face to face with Arlong. Arlong fish
Not the
handles him.
entire crew, but
Yeah.
certain members of the
Damn near.
lesser henchmen.
And for the
Damn
most
near.
part, for the most part in the fight scene, it did look like he wiped out more than Sanji did. But I think that when they were deciding to make it, I feel that if they included something like that, it would have taken too much away from Luffy. They wanted to focus that this is about Luffy right now, and they're gonna get with Zoro. It's gonna be focused all on Zoro and less on like, you know, Luffy, you know how dramatic he was, and he was like, oh, you know, she's our friend, and you know, she's not a
Well,
tool to be used.
and Zoro actually had someone who had swords, Hachi, who actually does play a big part in the series, which throws me off why they cut him out. But I understand getting an octopus guy with 6 hands as a 6 hand
He's
swordsman
kind of goofy.
might be a
He's
little
kind of
difficult.
goofy. He's
Maybe.
kind of a goofy character anyway. So I mean,
I
I
gotta
get it.
say, you know, you gotta remember this is like one and done. This they spend too much trying to develop things that are never gonna be touched on again. It's a, they I think that they were like, look, we gotta showcase both immense fighting skills in this time frame. We got to give Zoro his time to shine, which I thought they did. And I thought, like, yeah, they didn't show the bandage, but you saw him put his hand on the chest. You're getting the feel like, oh man, this guy, he's definitely not
He's not even at
100%. He's still
100%.
busting.
Yeah.
He's definitely busting it out still. You got to hear
Oh,
hear
shit.
them say their special moves, you know, exploding
Right.
star. I thought that was cool. And then the kick, and I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
I know in the anime he kicks the guy all the way through the building, but I'm like, come on, this is the best they can do.
I
They
don't
gotta
need
show.
that. No, I mean, I think they captured that
I mean,
element. I think they captured that element because he
There
kicked the
was,
guy
there
with
was a
fishback
street
karate
style
through
missing, but you know,
all the way up to
fine.
the stand. So I mean, and karate is like a very, you know, solid foundational kind of thing. So for you to unroot someone's foundation like that, it was like, yeah, I thought it was clever.
And you know what I just realized when I saw it again today that I didn't pick up on? I remember in the anime when they're going to fight him, it's like the big part is in the water. He does the spinning thing, and you see the
Right.
like his spins. I just realized when they show him, introduce him, and he jumps in the water, that was them showcasing him spinning around. I was like, oh, so that's how they were trying to play it, because you know in the anime it was much different, where he was like fighting with. I was like, oh, well, that was pretty cool that they knew they couldn't do it like that in the anime, so I was like, let's make him seem like he's building that torpedo momentum.
Yeah. I mean, I would
Mhm.
say, you know, this is probably gonna the most controversial episode of the live action thus far. And I think different people are gonna receive it differently. You know,
Yeah, I could agree. I mean, with
and you know, there's probably people gonna say like, oh, it was bad for these reasons. Like it
Agree.
sucks that they didn't have Hachi. It sucks that they didn't have that Arlong part. You know, that the fights seem kind of short. You know, so like the elements are like, oh damn, that kind of sucked. Oh man, I wish there was more. Blah blah blah. And you know, some people are gonna say like this was the worst episode. Some people said no, it was pretty good. You know, some people are gonna say no, it was bad. But you know, honestly, even if I look at it from the perspective of let me analyze this for how good it did its job. When I instead of thinking about it like, okay, what happens in the anime that it doesn't have in the live action? If I just look at it as let me look at this episode. Did I enjoy this episode? Was this good storytelling? Was this good character development? Were the action scenes good? Which is one of the big I think handicaps earlier on, which like, oh, the action was decent, but it wasn't really good. This action scene was good. You know, like
and
all
actually,
around. So,
and I'm watching it right now, and he's fighting a lot of guys with katanas. They may not be like particular, you know, single like swordsmen, like they're like a particular guy that's like their sword, but he's fighting guys with swords right now. So they put that in there.
My biggest thing about that wasn't the fights, because you know One Piece isn't about fights; it's more about the story. And the swordsman that he kind of was. Again, the guy Hachi was not the greatest swordsman. He was just introducing 6 swords. Like, oh, you do 3, I do 6. Something crazy stupid.
Oh, so he was just somebody that did it like funky like that.
But that same guy had such a big part in the story of like Nami in her whole character development. Like later on, they come back and visit him a couple times, and he plays a huge part later on in the story. So to have him completely cut is just like a mystery of why. I mean, they could probably replace him with a different character of the Fisherman team, but
this is where I'll defend the live action. I mean, I wouldn't say it was bad, good.
Defend it, Robert.
I would say that this episode is simply the best. I think this was simply the best episode of the whole live action. I think this live action was, again, second best of all
Look.
time. I think this episode was the best episode that this entire series had. I think it was the best. Like, it was brilliant. They had great completion of character arcs, great character development. The fights were good, which was kind of lacking in the beginning. Zoro's opening scene, as cool as it was,
Better
that
than
that fighting was
Kabuki?
really
Or-
that fighting. Wait, that fighting was really static. But let me tell you why I'll defend why they took out Hachi, because he's a very cartoony character. He's a very cartoony character. I don't think that would have fit. And Nami, this was a very traumatic time for Nami. For them to try to talk about sympathizing with Fishman and to do that in a condensed version later on, if they get to that point, and to bring up this person from Arlong's crew, it's like, wait a minute, I thought Nami was traumatized. Like, I don't think they don't have the time to flesh out all the nuances of, oh yeah, like the same way, slavery was bad. Were there some decent people who were slave owners who weren't as terrible as others? Yes. Is that harder to come across, especially if you don't have a lot of time to explore that character and understand the world or understand the story? Damn near impossible. I'm okay with it, and it's getting me excited for how they're gonna touch on it later on, especially since they're leaning on the whole Fishman discrimination so hard, and they haven't even told the story yet.
Well, because I really think that they're probably saving that for in the future, because they say it in the end of the episode, like they're still like doing a search trying to catch the crew. So the crew is not all caught. And remember, this was all about Luffy and Nami. This was like that. They don't want to bring anything else in. Like, you got to bring that emotion. Like when she's like, where's he at? He's in the map room. And then you see that scene. She's like, what are the chains and the blood on the walls? And he's like, oh, she let, all that. And then the monologue. And then, oh man, that made me hate him even more when he was like, yo, you betrayed me. I was like, really? He's going to tell her that? And she's like, yo, you took my money. And he was like, I was like, are you serious? This guy really has the audacity to be like, you betrayed me, when he tipped off the captain, and when she called him out on it, he just smiling and he's like, I'm just playing by your rules. I was
he's just a
I was like, I was like, this guy gotta go.
He said it so sarcastically. And after all this,
I know.
Betrayed me.
So he plays a very good villain. The actor who plays Arlong played it very well to really want to see that guy as a villainous character.
I'm telling you, man, that guy.
Throughout the live action, almost every villain we've seen is so believably good in their introduction and their story, and they're like, just the live action did well for like the main villain parts, especially Kabuki, Robert's favorite. But they had a lot of good villains, a lot of good narrative for the villains as well.
And what I really like is they show the little scene with Buggy. You get that goofiness in him. He's like, yo, get me back. He's like, yo, you better help us stop. And then he's like, fuck you guys, I'm out of here. And I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah,
that
like, genius gesture.
So good. That was such a genius gesture move. It's really cool. I mean,
he's like, exit stage left.
Yeah. But it's really cool because where the anime is, they showcase how Buggy's playing this super big role. He's playing the super big role in the backdrop, and you're just like, wait, what the fuck is happening? How did he do
Spoilers,
that?
Jacob, I'm so sorry.
I mean, he's been spoiling himself. The 2 of the 4 Emperors of the Sea were taken out.
I know, and I know Buggy becomes
now.
one by killing one.
No, but this is the thing. He didn't.
Sure. Let's not spoil the whole story, Rob.
Yeah, he's gonna spoil himself anyway. He's over here.
No, but I
sending
know
shit
that Buggy
to
ends up becoming an emperor. I
No,
know
but
that.
this is the thing. This is the thing, though. He didn't kill an emperor. He never killed an emperor. So this is what's dynamic about it. Luffy's an emperor. Okay, he took out Kaido. There's 2 other captains who took out Big Mom. But neither of them became an Emperor of the Sea. The one that became an Emperor of the Sea was Buggy in the backdrop. Now, what's significant about that is that, wait, so what did Buggy do? What has Buggy been doing since the warlord system broke down? That earned him the title of Emperor of the Sea. because he's an emperor of the sea, not because he took down another emperor. These other two captains took down an emperor. They could have named one of them or maybe both of them, but they didn't do that. So Buggy has done something significant that's more significant than taking down Big Mom.
Well, what
That's
I think
fucking
is
bananas.
they're
So-
obviously holding it in the live action that he's being such a central character, and they're putting a lot into it, and I like it. Even with the actor, with the
Yeah.
makeup, the lines, everything. Even seeing him at the end, because that's the thing that what was amazing about the episode. I was fully expecting this episode just being Arlong Park, Arlong, and then just like in the anime, doing the axe kick through the building.
Yeah.
And the Gatling gun, that was like just like it. And same thing in the manga. I was like, that was awesome. And then it wasn't even over. Then Garp comes in and you have the big showdown.
Word. It's not even like I was
So
like,
that
wait a
was one
minute.
of the
That's more than half of the
better
episode
parts of,
still to
like-
go.
Yeah, that was one of the more better parts where they're taking the story completely different from the anime. And the manga, where having Garp there go face to face with Luffy and everything, like
So what do you
having
guys think about that
filled
now?
out, it's different, but more interesting in the sense where it didn't make sense as much as it to be that stretched out prior.
Right.
Now it's like more of a reason why Garp isn't involved as much.
And now you see him, he's like
Throughout the
having
story.
that dialogue with him at the end. He's like, I just wanted, it was like a test to see who you really were. And I will say, because I know you guys brought it up last time, they make it so much in the anime that he like breaks mountains and shit like that. If you watch it now, hearing it, when he's doing the punches, they do a backdrop of like an earthquake boom to like signify how powerful they are. So I was like, oh, well, there you go. It's like a
Wait till the sea quakes.
So that's the thing. That's why I call this the best episode, because not only is it rounding off all the characters and like, oh wow, this great payoff for Nami. You see her map making. They don't mention that at all. Besides wanting the book, they show the tattoo and like, oh, wow.
And that was in the beginning. That was how it started.
Right.
That was
This
great.
little thing. It's like, and how painful was that? Because if bullets can't penetrate these fishmen, what kind of tattoo tool are they using to penetrate that skin? And that because they all have tattoos. That's the same tool that they're using on Nami. So that makes it that much more significant when Nami's over there stabbing her arm. Like, yeah, she's stabbing her arm. Yeah, she really means, because like, oh, this is nothing compared to the pain of that getting that tattoo, especially at that young age, especially after being traumatized after like that big betrayal. So it was all so good. But the thing that I was really happy with the action, because it's not that I'm looking for it, but because it was so rocky at the beginning, and this one was.
I know you were so
was
doubtful,
so
and
nice.
I kept telling you, I was like, keep watching. I was like, yo, they choreograph it pretty good, man. You're like, oh, I don't know how they're gonna do Sanji, man, because he only uses kicks, and I was like, well, they find a way to do.
They
a
did
little
that.
something,
They
something.
did that well. Yeah.
And really well. Even with the
See?
finishing moves, Buggy, while I'm excited where this goes, because Hachi is different, Buggy's role is different. I'm curious as to, are they going to show what Buggy's journey is now? Are they going to showcase a different way? Maybe Hachi's another one on the road, just on the other side. Maybe there's another way that they're going to tell this fishman story. The way that they're telling story is incredible. Those fight scenes were incredible, and it spilled into the whole Garp thing, because it's not just like,
I'm telling
he's
you,
winning because he's a good guy, because he's the main character. It's like, nope, Garp thoroughly whooped that ass.
I know, like completely, and it was just like, it doesn't matter. He's like, you know, now you're a man, kind of. That was like the passage.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, from the beginning,
Beautiful
from
story.
all the stuff I keep reading about Oda, and you know, they're having him talk, it seems like he's using this as the opportunity to do a second retelling of how he would have did it again.
Yes, that's what got me excited. That's what really got me excited, because I'm like, how are they going to do it differently? Like, I'm curious to see. Like, yeah, I would like to see the animation brought to live action, but I'd really like to see the consolidation, and I'd really like to see how they're going to fill in some of the blanks that,
because you know
told
they're not going to be able to get all your arcs from your anime, so you just face it.
Well,
I mean,
actually, so what they're doing with this, and what we can see already, they're kind of blending them in different formats for it to be more condensed. Because just within these 8 episodes, we went through, I think, 2.5 arcs in a sense of East Blue. Well, 2.5 seasons of East Blue, let's say. They went
And that's-
through the whole
No,
meeting,
he's-
Usopp, Sanji, Nami, and
Kaya.
introducing Garp, who doesn't even get introduced in that era. So putting all that in a nice mix while introducing Luffy to pretty much the world of the Baroque works and
and yeah, exactly.
Dipping that in
And the past,
just
the
like-
flashbacks, all of it, they put into it.
I'm excited to watch the next
And that's
season
just
that's
8.
coming soon.
Because what if when they announce the second season that it's probably 12 episodes? That's 4 more now that they can just even put more of it in.
I mean, so far they're telling the story at like plus 2x speed. There's like 2 point something because 8 episodes compared to 60. Granted, hour versus 20 minutes. You're still talking about 20 minutes. If you chop it up, that's only 24 episodes. You could only fit 24 episodes into 8 hours. They've covered 60 episodes in 8 hours.
I know,
So it's
that's
like
crazy.
2x plus speed,
Well, more than
almost
60
3x.
if they added Garp. Because remember,
And they're
Garp
putting-
wasn't
and
there
they're
until
adding their
after
own
Water
stuff.
7.
But that's
They're
what I'm saying.
adding
It's an
their own new
incredible
stuff into it.
it's an incredible consolidation, like you were saying. They're combining some stuff from future seasons. So I think it's an incredible consolidation. I think it's gonna be really good how they're doing it. Oh, here we
And
go.
how about I knew like at the very end when they revealed the flag, I was like, and then they're playing the theme song. I was like, oh, Robert, gotta love that.
Oh yeah. I love when they do significant stuff like that, man. No,
So
I'm
like
just-
to me, that was like one of the biggest parts when they showed the flag and then the cast off ceremony. I love that transition when each one of them said their desire and it showed them as a child doing it. I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
that was great.
Oh yeah. This was a great poster board. I think this was the best poster board for one of the best poster boards I've ever seen. Like just it was like Civil War. Yeah, I'm trying to get this sizing right.
You're just a big One Piece fangirl. Just saying.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You're a fangirl for the live action. You love it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
How
And I
He's your
kept
favorite
telling him,
character.
and he kept saying he wouldn't.
Yeah, I was afraid that I wouldn't because I was pretty sure they were gonna mess it up. Because
just say
Bebop,
you love
I
the
was
live
so
action.
hyped
Kaviki's
for
your
Bebop.
favorite. Just say yeah.
I already said it. I was so excited for Bebop. I was so excited for Bebop, and then
I
when
know.
that it did, I was just like, "Oh, they're gonna fuck with One Piece. Fuck you." And then I see Yu Yu Hakusho. I was like, "I'm about it. Someone's gonna get
I
hurt."
don't know how I feel if they come out with Yu Yu Hakusho now. I don't know if I like it. I'm scared.
Yeah, someone's
But if
gonna
they
get
did
hurt.
One Piece
Someone's
great,
gonna get hurt.
it depends.
even-
If they're involved as much, yes, they might come out great. But
I don't think so,
It's
man. I
kind
don't
of
think
harsh to come out good with Yu Yu Hakusho. It's been
because it's so far,
a
so
bit
long ago,
dated
and
to
to get
be-
the
yeah.
guy to be on board. Like I doubt it, and I think that they're just trying to.
They can't pull
ride
off
on
the
the hype
character
train.
nowadays.
Yeah, I think they're riding on the hype train. So I don't know, man. But I really like the way that the fight with Garp was great. I like because he pulled out all the stops. You see him use the rocket, and he's doing all this. The Gatling gun when he used it on Arlong, I'm happy. That looked phenomenal. You know, some of the stuff like even when they're hitting the pillars, I thought like it was gonna look cartoony. I heard them using strings.
No,
for Sanji.
no.
Did it
That's what
though?
weird.
Was
It
it
looked great.
though?
No, it
Was the
didn't.
Gatling
It
gun
wasn't.
that good?
I was-
Whoa,
sorry.
wow. You said
It
your
was.
part. Let's
Gatling
hear
gun was
the
that
whole
good.
part.
It was kind of.
Let's
It was
hear the
kind of
negative.
weak though.
I don't think so. It looked good. It looked. I mean, compared
But
to
was it
Rob,
okay
we
in the
heard your-
anime?
Rob, we heard your story. Let's hear Mr. Negative. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wait. I'm not comparing it to the anime. I'm saying that compared to what I've seen of their fight choreography thus far, I was like, I don't think they're gonna do a good job.
Okay, fine,
Like,
fair enough.
I
I'll
enjoyed the
say that.
story, but I don't think they're gonna do a good
Yeah,
job.
because I
But-
told you got to remember they're not going to be able to do exactly everything from the anime. They're going to
Yeah.
have to pick one or two great things with whatever they're using with CGI and be like, look, we have to showcase signature moves. So obviously the battle axe was definitely going to happen, and then the Gatling. So I was like, besides that, we're just going to have to work with using him, just the regular stretching punches.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but it was just more in the sense of the Gatling gun wasn't as much as a Gatling gun. It was at best less than 30. It just seemed not as intense, I guess. But I can understand where you guys come from. It's
up
not-
to this point, we've seen a couple of pistols and the headbutt joint. Like we haven't seen anything.
right.
You know,
But the Gatling wasn't as like it's still it was more like a 6 shot round repeating. I don't know. It was just.
I don't. It surpassed my
He said
expectations.
Gatling gun, but
Being
it
as the
was more like a
first time
repeating
being
punch.
introduced,
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty well, at least showing you showed more than 10 punches. So I was like, all right.
All right, and that's fair. But at the same time, like when he first used it in against Marlon, it was more intense. And I know, yeah, we're not comparing whatever, but we are comparing. It doesn't matter what you say.
Okay.
But
So yeah,
it's
no,
just
if
more.
you compare it, I hear what you're saying because there's some elements that would have been goofy, like when he slams his feet into the cement and like, yeah, that's goofy. But the Gatling, like you would have wanted to see it better. I get that. That's why I'm just saying that it's better than I expected it to be. And since it was all done in the same on the same timeline with the first few episodes, isn't like we waited for this. This was done on the same timeline. So I'm hoping that I think this episode was the best of the season, and I hope and I think this is a really great storyboard because you get to see the characterization of everybody, you get to see some of the stuff showcased, and they're just like, hey, this is what we could do with this budget. If we had this budget, Daddy's gonna make
That's what's for season 2. That's why I'm telling you they probably increase.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that their budget is a lot more, especially because the special effects is going to be off the chain coming up. So I really hope that they increase the budget. I hope this did really well for their budget because I think for with what they had,
I hope they don't increase it. I hope they make them hungry so that they keep working hard. I think when you make them fat and
well, they're not. They're working hard.
Just get them all lazied out. And they just don't want to. I mean, look at Zom 100, bro. Don't tell me that.
You can't compare this to Zom 100. You can't compare.
Look, I don't care. Oh no, I'm not comparing the work to Zom 100. I'm comparing the fact that when people are good at something and then they get good and spread thin, that you don't have them for what you need them for. So no. I hope they make them hungry. I hope they make them work hard.
No. I think the big difference with this is that if you watch the behind the scenes, like everything with the videos of them, like it's Oda's hand is there involved. He handpicked the actors. The showrunner is probably just as big of fans as you guys, and the actors themselves. I know you keep going about not wanting to have seen the sausage get made. You're gonna have to see the sausage get made if you want to talk about. No, I'm saying for him, if he wants to talk about this, because if you see these actors, then you can have a much more better understanding. Be like, it doesn't matter if they have crazy budget. I could hear the passion in their voice. I could see it in them. I could see these characters. They tear up when they're talking to the artist. Like the actor that plays Luffy, he's like crying when Oda's like, yo, I never saw anybody that could be Luffy until I saw your audition tape. I was like, this is it. This is my guy. And like no one else. And so, these guys are passionate. I mean, obviously things can change, but to hear the Zoro character say like, look, I don't care if they offer me Hunter x Hunter, I'm being committed to One Piece. The chick that plays Nami said, if all I do in my whole career is One Piece, I will be happy with my life. Like hearing that stuff is like, that's what you want to hear for actors. You want to hear
I hope not. You better do more than that. But yeah.
This is the thing. I don't trust the sausage being made just because that just might be
not
a testament.
Yet.
Well, no, it just might be a testament to how good the actors are. But what I believe in is the final product, and the final product showcases that they did care about it. They loved it. They put the effort in. So that's clear. So I believe in rewarding good behavior and disciplining bad behavior. If this was badly done, cut their budget. Same budget, whatever. If this was good, which it was one of the best. One of the best. Rurouni Kenshin tops it, but
I was just kidding.
Is about.
I was kidding.
They're just trying to rile me up. No, but Rurouni Kenshin is about.
Hang on, I missed the whole kidding part.
Wait. Let me finish my point.
You probably already finished. Anyway, let me jump in right here.
Wait.
One Piece piracy. Thank you.
Interrupting.
No. So Rurouni Kenshin was I think in my opinion really great. But again, it was a movie format, and it was about samurai in feudal Japan, and they took out some of the fantasticalness. One Piece is almost 80% fantastical. For them to do really, really good.
Almost 80 or 80%.
Almost 80%. Almost 80. I mean, you got pirates, you got the ship, you got the map drawing, you got the cooking of
Rating
the food.
skills.
Like there's some
You got
stuff
the
that's
blood when
not
Zoro
fantastic.
cuts them.
When it comes to the powers, the moves, fighting fishmen, flying through the air, the Gatling gun, there's
Sea
like, I'd say
monsters,
80%.
devil
I think
fruit.
that's a good
The
calculation.
cannonball
It-
blast.
I'll say like this: if you disagree with the 80%, we can agree that it's significantly more fantastical than Rurouni Kenshin. Yeah, right. So
I
for it
agree
to
with
be
the 80%. I love
for it to
One Piece
be
100% of the
for,
time.
for it to be phenomenally more fantastical than Rurouni Kenshin, and for it to sit
Fantastical.
right behind Rurouni Kenshin in terms of how good it was as the live action, I think
I
that
think it's just
that
in front of
rewards.
Rurouni
I
Kenshin,
think that
personally.
I think that you need to reward that behavior. You need to reward that effort. So I hope their budget is
they're
greater.
definitely gonna expand it.
Guys, I was
more.
kidding. Obviously, yeah, if you want these guys to keep acting, you got to pay them the kind of money to keep them acting, right? So you have to also work
Right.
on the script. You have to make sure that the people writing these things want to stay writing these stories. So
Yeah.
yeah, it
I
makes
want-
sense. I hope
Whoever
the
they got for
budget's
the fight
within limit.
choreographer, or if the fight
Well, yeah, I
choreographer
hope
is
that, yeah,
better for the
exactly. I
lads,
hope they increase the
keep it
budget
going,
in that area.
and I just want
So
better
yeah, some
special-
of that stuff is just gonna elevate even more. Whether
They
it's
got
more,
they
it's
got to
more
stop
with the
having those
sets.
bendy straws like
Yeah.
for Zoro's sword. That's annoying.
That was episode 1. That was one. That was
Okay,
one
fine.
scene.
Right.
in
So they
episode one.
didn't do it again. So they didn't make a mistake where we could catch it. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now in my eye hole,
You
in
can't
my
reprimand.
eye
You can't reprimand bad
in
behavior.
my eye
Then they do good for
I
7
shall
episodes,
see-
and then you're just like, yeah, well, fine.
What am
I think you
supposed to
did
do?
that,
What am I
Rob.
sup- Yeah, what am I supposed to do?
For
Just
what?
wait and
For
believe
what?
that
Trigun.
what I'm supposed to
I didn't do that for Trigun. I told
I'm
you
supposed
at
to
the end.
believe
How many episodes was that? At the end, I was like, that was a great final episode.
I'm supposed to believe that
12. That's better than
I'm supposed to believe that all the time that sword is just there. It's a straight sword. It's not bendy. Sorry.
watching Rurouni Kenshin. See how much he bends.
So again, this is
I'm not
this is
saying
what I
he's
don't
not a
like
good
about
actor.
It's gonna be
people
a mix.
talking bad
Manage
about
his
One
sword
Piece.
to-
You guys always mention something ridiculous about One Piece that's not even that ridiculous. You know, that's human error. That's okay. We haven't even gotten to the ridiculous points of One Piece. There's going to be a gun that eats a devil fruit. Let that sink in.
There's gonna be a cloud. There's gonna be a cloud island. So you.
There's gonna
No, 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 no.
That's
I'm
sinking.
talking about the gun. Well, that's cool. That makes sense. But a gun that eats a devil fruit.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Sure. Yeah. No,
These
cloud
are
island.
the things that no one ever talks about. They're,
Cloud
in the next
Island and
series, in the
and
next
They're
season,
gonna they're,
if that
they'll
dog
fit
is
in the
there,
future.
if that dog is there, I am calling this the best series ever, 24/7. Live
I like
action.
a solid backstory too of the like loading the fruit into the chamber, just like, and then it's
Just like a coughing.
but this was, but for the Nami payoff, this was such a significant Nami payoff because the whole exchange with Arlong and Luffy is like, yeah, they said the thing about the betrayal and like, oh, you piece of shit. But then you get to like, oh yeah, this guy's anger is legitimate. This guy's full throttle. Like he's not even talking to them. He's talking past them because at a point he's talking about the whole. He's giving them the whole spiel, and Luffy was like, no,
don't
everybody
care.
should be free. And he's like, yeah, fuck you, bitch. Like, wow, Arlong. He's not even talking to Luffy. He's talking past. He's not even talking to Nami. His hate for human beings is so much deeper. And
He's
for
just
that to
trying
be
to
teased out in this
justify his
episode,
actions by spewing his rhetoric. Calm down.
yeah, that I'm saying the writing was good. That's not even. I'm happy with the fight scene, which I thought was the biggest crutch. But the storytelling was phenomenal. I'm so excited for how
When
they're
they-
gonna go forward.
when they released the
It
bounty,
must
when they
have
finally
a
released the bounty
phenomenal
page,
foundation.
That was cool. Yeah.
when they
it was-
finally released the bounty page, it's just like you see in the manga, the anime. They're copying just like the scenes straight up. It goes back to Baratier, it goes back home, and then you see Shanks with Mihawk. It's word for word, exactly everything
Yeah.
they say.
No, that wasn't word for word. That wasn't word for word. But I thought I
Yeah,
liked it.
yeah.
liked
Don't do that around Rob. He's quiet.
It was word for word at the end. I saw it. I read it. I read
It's
the
not
word
word for
verbatim.
word.
You know
Don't
what? I'm gonna
verbatim-
believe
don't
Jacob.
verbatim.
No,
I'm
it's
gonna
not.
side with Jacob. It's word for word. That's three
No,
against one, Rob. It's word for word. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Verbatim.
word
It's
for
not even
word
close,
for
yo.
word.
That's not even close. Yo, audience, comment down in the comment section. Yo, what was the
Let 'em know,
Tell
was it
you,
word
I'll
for
look
word
it
or
up.
not?
I'll
Matter
look
of
it up.
fact, I'm gonna make that comment right now.
Let's just Google it real quick. I believe the word was word for word. Word for word.
No, well, let me tell you why I liked it, because they're show hawking. They're showcasing Mihawk.
Oh, he doesn't know how to
Mihawk as
make his
this
point.
super cool,
It's
badass
okay. We won
character.
here.
Right.
It's okay.
No,
Don't worry
the
about it.
super
You can
cool-
stop now.
Oh yeah, I could, but I'm not going to because I'm
Put the
right.
fans
So,
out.
This guy.
I mean, I'm just gonna I left you in the dust, so I'm just gonna
Oh,
keep
you
right
left
on
me
ahead
in the
chugging
right.
along.
Oh,
No.
it's okay.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, I know you're trying to bug me, but that's not gonna happen.
We're
the
stretching here.
in the anime, it's like, yeah, they were on this island, but Shanks wasn't as jovial. He's just like kind of a little more serious, and then he smiled like, oh yeah. And he's the one that challenged Mihawk. He's like, Mihawk is like, nah. And that gives you the sense like, oh shit, how badass is Shanks? But in this one, it was a little bit more casual, and Mihawk kept his frame of this
Guy
badass
did not
swordsman.
even
That
let
was
it
the
go.
anime.
Shanks-
In the manga, it shows it that way on the beach.
I don't know.
It
You said
was
it the same.
casual.
Wait.
Don't you remember what Shanks was doing
Now
there?
you're moving the goalposts.
Yeah, he was
Now
casual
we're moving the
sleeping on the
goalposts.
hammock.
Wait a minute. Now we're moving the goalposts. You said word for word like the anime. Now the manga is something different.
No, you
Manga
said
is something
it wasn't
different. I'm
casual.
talking
I said the
compared to
manga.
anime.
I said the
Anime.
manga.
No, you said anime. We can rewind the tape. Yo, comment section. Rip this guy apart, yo.
Yeah.
Rip this guy.
So, but then it's
Yeah.
word for word from the manga. That's what I read. That's what I saw.
Okay,
It's
that's
straight
right. I
like
can't
that.
argue that because I haven't read the manga.
I'm saying
I
in
was
the
very
anime,
clear
it was
about
casual.
not verbatim with
If you
this
remember
guy.
what they were doing then, they were drinking. They were drunk. They even
No.
said, "But boss, didn't you pass out last night?" He's like, "Yeah, I did. Let's drink again."
He had a hangover. That's the whole reason why he didn't want to fight me off. He's like, no, I gotta. And then he saw Luffy like, let's do it. Yo, it's like 10 a.m. Let's do it.
Well, he did tell him he could still take him with one arm behind his back.
That's what I'm saying. That was the
It wouldn't be
best.
behind his back,
That was
but
the
okay.
best. And they're sitting there joking about it too. You're just like, yeah, I could take you. And I was like, no, that line was delivered perfectly. I love him as Shanks. And whoever wrote that, like, great job. I don't know if that's word for word like the manga. If it is, all right, like homage to OG Oda. But if it's not, then good job on the creative team, setting that up. Yeah, it was different
Verbatim like the manga, not the anime.
All right.
I mean, either way, it's still the same writer.
Fact check this guy.
But
Yes,
Oda?
yes,
Still the
Facebook.
same writer, yeah.
Yes, Facebook. Why don't you do that?
But it was cool that with the whole Garp fight scene, like Luffy pulled out all the stops, and Garp, like, they didn't showcase the him fighting, training him, but they suggested it through this. I thought I trained you better than this, so now you understand that Garp trained Luffy, and then it's like, oh, that's so cool. And then at the end for
You don't understand
Olimpo.
how far. Yeah, I'm not gonna let that slide. You don't understand how he trained him, because let's be
They
real.
showed a bit of the hockey,
Did he
right?
train him,
They showed a
or
little
did
bit
he
of that
throw him in the
hockey.
forest,
No,
Rob?
this is no.
Did he train him, or did he feed him to the... So, let's talk about the one man, the Fist.
Oh,
Iron
Fist.
Fist. That's a
No,
different show.
he's known as the Fist.
I like how they I mean, it just showcases how much Japanese people hate monkeys. Zoro got stronger. How? Fighting monkeys. Luffy got stronger.
Baboons,
How?
actually. Yeah, he was fighting baboons, actually. not
Baboons,
monkeys.
be
Which is a
correct.
type of what? That's
Uh,
like saying.
I
That's like saying.
I
That's like
guess.
wait. You
Mammal?
specifying
I don't know,
baboons.
Malum. Yeah.
Wait a minute. You specifying baboons is like, what did you have for dinner? Fish? Actually, it was salmon. It's like,
Yeah, that's
Actually,
big
it was Alaskan salmon.
no fish.
even bigger.
No
It's not
fish.
Fishman. It's not Fishman.
No, not
It's
fish,
Fishman from
man.
the East Blue, right?
Making a ludicrous line. I was watching One Piece and they was fighting Fishman, not a fish, man.
And
That's something he would say.
This guy.
But yeah, they hate monkeys. They hate monkeys. Luffy out here trying to change the stereotype, taking on the name Monkey D. Luffy.
I don't think he took on the
I'm
name.
taking on
That's just the
that's
name he
just
got.
that's just his surname.
Yeah.
They just I know the
He was
D
born with
seems
it.
like the surname. I guess the D is the surname. Luffy's not a surname.
Yeah. Monkey isn't either.
Actually, I don't know.
Monkey's a
Isn't
surname.
Monkey D Garp? Actually, maybe it's all in reverse. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a surname. No, that's how it is in Japan. They have last name, then initial, and then first name. That's
thought the
everyone there.
Gold Roger was the most significant.
Roronoa Zoro. That's everyone.
Gold
Everybody calls
D
him Zoro.
Roger.
Yeah,
Gold D Roger.
that was cool. That was funny. That was like, oh wait, Gold Roger? Nah, Gold D Roger. I was like, oh wow.
So he was
That's-
related. He was related to Garp in some way too. Again, the D.
No,
The
it
D-
just shows that he has
The D was so
Shut
big
up.
that it needed its own name.
All right, come on.
Moving along from the D's into the fist. Let's
So-
talk about how well they animated my man to show that he wasn't playing around and
Right.
he knocked out Luffy quite some distance.
Yeah, as much as they gutted Zoro in this, like, oh man, there's so much stuff that Zoro they didn't put included in it. They ungutted Garp. They're just like, nah, this guy's powerful. Like it's not
Because
just
they
another
didn't even
boss.
have
that-
this fight in the anime.
Yeah,
He's not a vice admiral for no reason, and he's not his
Mhm.
grandpa for no reason, or the father of Dragon. Also, because
a revolutionary.
that's them. Yeah,
Whoa,
let's
whoa,
not
whoa,
forget
let's wait until we get to Lowtown on that. Relax.
Yeah,
Why do I have to be the one not to tell them? They already know.
No, I think he was talking to me. He felt my middle name D getting engorged. Yeah, he felt it. That's right, guys.
That is some powerful. That is.
Oh, it
that's
is.
some powerful.
Oh, is
the
it?
Gertie's back.
All right, I didn't think we were gonna get Gary in this episode. No, but seriously, it was big. No,
Yeah, apparently it is. Yeah.
No, Garp.
But
You know
he
who
felt
else
it
took the D?
all the way through space.
Pretty sure Nami's sister probably took the D.
No, Nami's sister. She was
Cut it down.
careful not to take the D. She wasn't about that.
After
Cook.
party.
I don't know.
After party.
She was like,
Then
I mean,
shut
that
it
was
down.
close. That was close for a minute. I thought she was about to accept it. I was like, well, doesn't sound like she wants options A through C. I was like, now offered on the nice plate was D. Oh yeah, cooking. I was like, wow, that was a smooth ass line. He was like, I don't give out secrets, but private lessons are on the tape. That's not all that's on the tape. I was like, whoa, too raunchy, Sanji. It's for kids, man.
But you know who did come back for seconds? Your boy Zoro.
The game there was pretty real. It was-
That's the other
He
good thing.
couldn't
Like
handle it.
talking about storytelling, it was really cool throughout the fight scene. You see them bickering back and forth. There's a point where like Sanji gets knocked back and Zoro just kind of steps around his body getting flung back. They keep sniping at each other. Oh, what? Putting two slices of bread together. I know what Luffy needs. He's like, like they're just going back and forth. It's like, oh, I don't need 3 swords to prove that I'm a man. It's like, okay. I see why Sanji was the favorite character from the live action. I get it. This guy's a smooth operator, great shit talker, and a good friend. It's fit. Like shit. What's not to like
I don't
about
think he was
this guy?
talking shit. I think he was more talking facts.
He
Because he
was
doesn't need
cooking.
swords.
He
to
was
be a
cooking
man.
all right.
I mean,
He was cooking it
kills
up. But
Chef, no boy RD.
yeah. Oh, Nami's sister could get it, but and usually I like yellow fever is a thing. I love my chocolates, chocolate all day. Oh my god, I love chocolate. But Nami, I think Nami
yeah,
beats. I
hands
think
down.
Nami beats her sister, and that's
Oh.
not a common
That's
thing.
without hesitation.
But usually it's not a snow bunnies don't get it like that.
Well, I think they chose her on purpose so that they can still keep talking about how beautiful Nami
Oh
is.
yeah, so the author Ichiro Oda actually married someone who looked like Nami or cosplayed Nami at one point, and yeah,
I
When he got
mean,
married, he started drawing them more bustier. And it's just like
he knew
someone
what he
asked him at
wanted.
one point, like, "Yo, what's up with this?" And he's like, "I'm a happy man." Like that's the best
I'm glad
answer
what they.
ever.
I'm waiting for
wait, he
the
actually did
best
this?
punch
He
in the
said
series,
this?
guys. Let's get back to the punching, okay? I'm waiting for the best punch in the series, the happiness punch.
Happiness punch. I don't
If you
remember
guys
this
don't
one.
know, you're gonna have to look it up. Nami's happiness punch.
Mm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Can't wait for that.
Well, I thank you all for being here. We did it.
No, but you know the whole fight thing. I like Usopp's thing. The Usopp's fight was pretty good. I like the whole the fishman going not the face. I was like, oh shit, this
Usopp's
is.
storytelling is really good as well. The fact that he's over there like just telling the story from a different perspective, and even Luffy's backing him up. He's like, "Yeah, let's cheer up for Captain Usopp." It makes me feel like the live action could actually make it seem like Usopp told the anime story.
I think it was cool that
Ooh.
it was both the two, not necessarily the weakest guys, but the two shooters that found each other and then they dipped out. Because like you know how like Usopp's also kind of like a shit talker. Like imagine if the straw hats were in the thousands, he would be basically be what that guy was to the Arlong
Oh
fisherman
yeah.
crew. Yeah, he wouldn't be doing anything. He'd just be talking, right? And maybe drinking or whatever. But yeah. So I thought it was funny that they both like fought each other or
Yeah.
like tag each other and then chase
Good
each other
matchup.
away from the rain battle.
Yeah.
Like they intentionally like he could have stayed. He didn't have to chase after if he thought he was stronger than Usopp, he could have just waited, right?
You know, that guy, the coolest part about that was of him running away with a bottle of alcohol.
Right. Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
he has
It's
such a
just like,
legit
yeah.
reason to deny any kind of intervention. Like we think you have a problem. He's like, I need this. My truth depends on me. Party tricks, man. Party tricks. That guy's an alcoholic. All right. Maybe not Zoro, but that guy, problem. Wars breaking out. Repel borders. Somebody hits him in the face. Motherfucker.
I think he has a very good spot on Shanks crew.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's the
Shanks
guy
is
who's
kind
gonna
of a
carry the fishman
he
story.
drinks. But yeah, I thought it was just funny that they both like ran into each other and then decided to run off into the wild to go like fight. Because
Yeah.
that fight could have been had there. They didn't have to move. Everybody else fought. else fought there. Even when what's his face, the main guy, that Sanji and Zoro fought against the fisherman. I want to say that would be the second mate, right? That was Along's second mate.
That's a good question. I don't know. Which one was the first mate? Which one was the second mate?
Or
I don't know.
maybe no, not second mate. I guess first mate. He would be
Yeah.
the first mate.
Actually, yeah, I don't know if second mate is a thing. I know first mate.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I meant first mate. My bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, and like they didn't leave. They didn't run away to go fight in a different location or whatever. But yeah, those two decided to like Usopp shot him. He freaked out and left, which was understandable because that was Usopp. But homie didn't have to leave. He could have just been like, "Run, you puny human," and stayed. But he went out of his way to chase. So, but yeah, I just thought that was cool.
Ruined his drinking. The guy is drunk
that,
this whole time. If you look at him as just like a bumbling drunk, it's kind of impressive that he was able to stay on his feet and run after him at that speed.
I also thought it was like interesting that when he saw that Usopp was down, he didn't like shoot at Usopp, to make sure he was out. He went over close to go check him out, and then like didn't want to waste the ammo. I guess would be the point there. and then walked
Oh,
away.
more signs of alcoholism. You're right. You're right. And then, like, in the anime, I think he's just
Bullets are
spitting at him.
expensive.
So it's like it's a little bit more disgusting. So I get the alcohol thing, but it's just funny. He's an alcoholic. I like that story better. I like how Usopp's not like
But yeah,
an
it was
overt
just-
liar. Is not as big of a liar as he is in the anime. Like it's kind of like, oh, he's telling the stories, embellishing a little bit because after everyone's in the back,
The
like,
truth,
oh, he's telling the
yeah.
story. He's just
Yeah.
like,
Again, this is why I believe this is so perfect. As Usopp's telling the stories of what happened to the people nearby, it's like he's slowly building the anime.
He's building God Usopp.
Yeah.
Building it up. But yeah, no, it's cool that he's good. He's good at embellishing, but he's including his friends, right?
yeah.
He doesn't.
But,
just,
as far as the
completely say
village
he
goes,
does it all.
I like
With a little help.
speaking about storytelling. I like how they the village was like, no, Nezuko. What's Nami's name? His sister's name?
You got it.
Nezuko. Najiko.
Najiko.
What?
Najuko.
Whoa! What you just say, nigga?
Quit trying to fuse in Demon Slayer here.
No, but I like how it's like she told the town and the village was like, no, fuck, whatever. We're suiting up, whatever. We're gonna go after Arlong, and like that whole scene, I was like, oh, that's cool, and it made sense because they didn't have any idea before. But and this is one of the things. I mean, as upset as I am with them gutting the whole Zoro thing, I really liked in the anime, the village was ready to pop off. They were right there at Arlong Park. They were at the gates. They were ready to go. They're ready to go. It wasn't like, oh, Luffy said no, so
Pitchforks
they
and all.
stopped it. Like they were right there at the gates, and they would have crossed it if it wasn't for Johnny and his brother.
Yeah. Who held off saying the only people we're gonna let through is Brother Zoro.
Yeah, I thought that was cool because then it showed like their anger. Like I would have liked to see the whole village like try to descend on Arlong Park, and then I don't know. I really like that scene in the anime. I don't know how they could have made it work in this dynamic, but
I think they did the best they could, and it panned out stupendously with Peter.
yeah.
So
I don't know, maybe-
They did it
reality
okay.
for
They did it
existing
well.
the way
There's-
it does.
I mean, looking back, there are a couple things that was missed. There wasn't no sea cow around. There was
Yeah.
like a little bit of like the whole underwater battle was very much missed.
Yes.
And
I was like, where is
like-
the underwater battle?
That's a little
because
goofy.
that was
That
was
would've
their
been-
big thing. Like, no. That was their big thing. The whole, we're pretty strong on land, but in
Oh,
water,
yeah. That is true.
you can't.
No, that's
touch
true.
us.
Yeah, for
So
sure. for
Sanji
sure. So
beating him underwater was
testament to his skill for sure. But how would you do that in a live action?
They tried.
Like,
simple. You just put like a water screen in front of them.
I mean, I'm all I'm saying is
Did you not watch Aquaman? It happens.
was it that
I
good though?
didn't.
Was
I didn't.
Aquaman
I
that
kept falling
good?
I
asleep.
said it
I
happened.
kept falling asleep.
Aquaman
I like
happened
Jason Momoa,
with a
but I
huge
fell
budget.
asleep.
With a huge budget, that
Fell
happened.
asleep.
With a low budget, don't do it. Please don't do it. I like the way it
Fell
was.
asleep. Don't make me sleep.
That was all right.
I sleep a lot already.
Manta Ray was a really bad guy. I believe that. You know what? Kabuchi's a little less good than that guy. A little less, just by a little. Almost
Damn.
found a bad guy that I believe less than Kabuchi. Almost.
Wow, you put him at that level. That's saying something wrong.
What are you talking about? He's
The
garbage.
His
Manta
favorite
Ray guy,
character.
the Manta Ray guy from Aquaman. The guy who's like, I'm gonna get revenge on Aquaman.
Yeah, no, you call him gobble juice?
Huh?
Okay.
No, he was comparing him to Kabuji in One Piece.
Kabuji.
Oh, did you say Goblin Slayer?
Remember the guy?
Right
I
now?
thought you said gobble juice. I thought you said gobble juice. I was like, what the heck is
Gobble
gobble
Oh,
juice?
juice.
What do you? Hey, how come we can't see your mouth? What are you?
That
doing
is a
over there?
sick name. Gobble
me?
juice.
Yeah.
Gobble juice? That sounds like sussy and goblin-y at the same time. It's like a goblin.
Jesus.
Gobble juice.
All right.
Thank you
I'm
for
sorry.
joining us. here at the Gertie Library, where we always get demonetized.
But it's my fault. I heard gobble juice. I shouldn't have said it.
Happy
Right.
Gopology.
Hey, it's the day before Halloween. Beetlejuice is a thing. I get it. But
Beetlejuice. I'm not saying it one more time.
saying what? Beetlejuice? Whoops, does that count as 3?
Booty
But oh, it's 4. Cancel that.
Booty sweats.
But
Booty sweats.
I did like the philosophical debate that Luffy was having with Arlong. You know, of course, Luffy was like, no, it's no, that's wrong. But the whole about specifically about Nami.
Mhm.
When Arlong was like, what? I brought the best out of her. You could have utilized her any better? What say you? And he was just like, it wasn't even, they were having a different conversation.
Like not something to
He was
use.
like, I don't use my friends. She's my friend. I don't use my friends. Like that was cool. They just looked at the way that they look at things differently because that kind of plays on top of what the cat guy said, the cat captain.
Captain Kuro.
Kuro. Yeah. I was about to say gobble juice. But yeah, Captain Kuro. Fun people.
Look, all I'm saying is he killed a character that they didn't kill in the anime. You can't top that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I like the whole conversation because it showcases what kind of captain he is, and that was, you know, they struck that chord home even more when the whole Garp and Luffy thing, when he's just like, I'm not alone. I was like, But what's so cool was when Kobe and Halempo stepped in. They're just like, nah, man, that ain't cool. I'm not following that order.
That was one of the bigger portions of this episode of like showing even more than just the Garp Luffy thing, showing the main character cast step up and show their main characters. I wish someone would say that before this episode, but like, yeah, him
like I
stepping
said,
up and showing like, you know,
not bad for a side character. Not bad for a side character. He's not bad for a side character. Yeah, I've been saying that this whole time. Yeah. Yeah, not bad for side character.
Main character energy over here of stepping up against even the Marines' orders. And
I mean, Garp
really
didn't step up
enjoyed
against. It's like nah. Yeah, no, it was cool, and it was good. You see the growth because like Halempo, it's like they show him next to Kobe in the anime, but in this one you kind of see the relationship and how things are developing. And so for him at the end, for him to stand next to Kobe and be like, "Nah, man, that ain't that." I agree with Kobe. That was cool. That was a super humbling experience, and for Kobe, who was like super cagey, walking without moving his arms,
they have growth,
afraid to do anything. Yeah, for him to step up to Garp, the guy who captured the Pirate King, he was willing to step up to Garp and he was like, no, this was wrong. Not like, I don't know. Most people think that they would step up and do the right thing, but no, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Not most people aren't willing to do that. Most people are just gonna sit back and say something on Twitter or some bullshit and not really support the cause that they say they care about. You're fucking lying. Shut the fuck up and let the people who are dealing with business deal with business. Kobe gets shit done. Kobe's about that business. So I
main
like
character
that.
energy. That's all I'm saying. I mean, he could be like leading some hyper intelligence later on. Who knows?
Or just someone who answers phones. Yeah, I think he did that. Side character status.
Did he? I think it's
while someone else was
energy.
clandestine in the field handling business.
First off, there are no phones in One Piece. Thank you very much.
I think they're called snails.
Dendamushis.
I guess I was a little slow for that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Just don't leave a trail of that.
Oh, boy.
But for him to be the one to come to Luffy and show him the poster board because he knew how much it meant to Luffy, I was like, that was a cool full circle showing the friendship.
But even in that spot of him standing up to Garp and then Garp, letting Luffy know about this world is a lot more vast than you think. Like you don't know what's out there. If you think about it, the punches were even held back on Luffy. There was so much more damage he could have done to him, and he's just like, you just don't get it, kid. Like, it's gonna get a lot worse. It's gonna get a lot harder. It's gonna be a lot more dire. and this is your last chance. Oh well, I'm not gonna do it. You did train me, da 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 da. But it was like a kind of homage of the series just started. You don't even know the surface level yet.
I don't know. I
That
guess,
I
yeah.
feel like
That being said, in
it really
context,
nice.
understanding how strong he is, he must have gone easy. But Luffy is never like this is probably the hardest that he's ever gone against Luffy because
Mhm.
Luffy was saying like, "Yo, you couldn't have held back." But like knowing that, yeah, I see that. I see that. So I mean, maybe
But
he just
more beyond the fight, what I'm saying is like he was trying to let Luffy know that once you step past this path, there are lot harder, a lot bigger hurdles, a lot harder things to go through and stuff like that you're gonna have to deal with. The world isn't gonna be nice to you. It's not gonna be forgiving as I am and stuff like that. It's kind of a homage to the series itself. It's telling you this is just the surface, not even
yeah,
the surface, not even scratching it.
yeah, no, for
This is the
sure.
air.
And to add to your point, I think that's what makes this such a good episode because they could showcase this as, yo, this is what we got. Look at these characters. Look, this isn't even scratching the surface. There's so much story here. Look, this is how good the anime's done. This is how good we've done. Trust us to continue doing this thing. They have Oda's backing. It's like they have a lot of things working in their favor. I really hope that they get this increased budget. I hope they ask for an increased budget for one. And then I hope that they get more than they asked for because I think they really deserve it. This was really well done. And then to showcase
I mean,
again, it's
I
a
think
giant
they
poster
have
board.
to have
At
an
the end, they
increased budget.
showcase all the characters. You see Kaya's reaction, loving on Usopp, seeing her, and that's Usopp's same reaction. So you're like, wow, it's like mine. You see Luffy, so excited. You see all those other characters we already mentioned. You see Buggy in the tavern with Alvida. Luffy's face plastered on top of Buggy's on the wanted poster. You see the whole Shanks and Mihawk thing and them going getting a little catty, them excited for what comes next. Mihawk already suggested maybe he will find it. It's just to see all that. And then at the end, to see Smoker burning the poster with the 2 cigars in the hand because he smokes 2 at a time because he's just a big dick boy like
He's
that.
a chain smoker.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you never got that. Oh man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna cut what I said and keep your part in. That was good. Oh yeah. But like that, I think it's just such a great poster board. It's such a good poster board to be like, give me your money. Or just not
I'm
even for money,
excited. I'm
just
excited to
us.
see
What happens
a
next?
Smoker Ace battle.
Yeah, I am excited to see how they play Smoker into the next season. That's what I'm excited about. Because he
They're
has to
gonna
be
need-
in the he would have to be
more
in the debut
interested.
though. He would have to be in the very first couple episodes at least. Because that's when he starts chasing him, right?
Yeah, Logtown. As soon as
Yeah,
they get to
but you
Logtown.
see Ace. I mean, they could mix it up. They can mix it up however they want at this point. But one of the biggest things that I'm very interested in is how they're going to portray the character Chopper.
That'll be
Yeah, that
interesting.
is
I
going to
mean,
be interesting. But
that
then
Drum
again,
technology
Island
is-
is probably going to be one of the biggest question areas here.
I,
They're going
Yeah.
to do
I also-
Logtown for a Smoker, but Drum Island, that's really the big question.
Oh, sorry, not Nine.
I mean, it's gonna be super fantastical because not only like you have like Logtown, like okay, you got this thing. Smoker's gonna be hard, expensive. Ace is gonna be expensive. Going up the mountain was
Yeah.
gonna be expensive. They teased that.
Yeah,
That's cool. Chopper's gonna be expensive, but it's like they can do it. The technology's out there. They did Sonic the Hedgehog. They could do Chopper.
that is true.
But it's just gonna be pricey.
Sonic
I
was
hope
cool.
that they have the budget to that they
The first
they-
Sonic or the second Sonic? The final Sonic?
the Sonic that
The
made it
first
to the
Sonic was
movies.
trash.
The
Yeah,
first Sonic
did you
was-
see
yeah,
it, the
but-
original?
I'm not talking
The-
about
not the
Rat-a-tat.
original
I'm not
Sonic.
talking about the standing
What are you
Rat-a-tat.
talking
I'm talking about the Sonic that made it to the movie screen.
Talking
so
about the
glad-
Sonic. I'm talking
glad
about
everybody
the
forced that out.
Jim Carrey, Dr. Eggman. Okay, how about that?
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, next season sounds like it should be dope. Pumped. Look at how pumped I am. So excited.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
people might
actually
mistake your
dancing
excitement
behind
for
the scenes,
emo,
guys. Don't
but
don't
I'm
let his
happy.
face or
Sure.
expression.
Emo.
All right, y'all. That's all I got. That was good. Want to see more live action? Eventually, I'll edit this and get this out. But I'm a lazy bum and I need help. So if you guys out there would like to like and subscribe, press the notification bell. You get to see these episodes as soon as they come out because we're not on a real set schedule right now. But when we are, it's gonna get moving. AMVs, reaction, live action, anime, other shit.
Shorts. Bananas. It's gonna
Yeah.
be bananas.
Like and subscribe. This is Daddy's Girly Library. Peace out.